good evening and welcome to All About Sport, live from the top of the town studios, Collins Street, Cavan, on your local channel, cavantv.com. Each week we will include a wide variety of sport from all around County Cavan. And if you would like your sport featured on the show, simply contact drumlinmedia@gmail.com. This show will be live on the internet on cavantv.com every Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. So on tonight's show, I am joined by the minor hurling champions, Cootehill Celtic, and St Pat's College Ranafast winners. So St Pat's, I have you here first. You're very, very welcome to the show at such short notice. But thank you very much and congratulations. Finbar, we've had you on the show recently. You're a familiar face on All About Sport, but you know, a great win for your side last Friday.
Tremendous victory. A real roller coaster of a game, I suppose, from being 6 points down after 10 minutes to being 2 points up at half time, and then 5 points down again with maybe 8 minutes to go, to that fantastic finish, that, you know, kind of a real storming finish to win by 6. A real roller coaster, but tremendous victory for the school, tremendous victory for the lads, and the amount of work and effort that went into it, and look at just rewards, really.
That's brilliant. Andy, you went in as the favourites to win. You're a strong, experienced side. You know, you've won the Dalton Cup and the Brook Cup winners this year. So, you know, was there any... This is 10 years since you've won the Ranafast Cup.
Yeah, it's been 9. Is it 2003? It's the last Ranafast. Probably had the favourite side going in. Probably the fact that we hadn't been beaten all year, and probably only been beaten once since these boys actually formed together in 2010 at the Dalton Cup stage. Just as Finbar said there, like, the amount of effort that these boys have put in over the last few years, like just kind of starting off, and the amount of work they've done in evening time and all, and different kind of strength work and that sort of thing, like, really has paid dividends and really showed their Friday evening. But you know, they're an absolute fantastic bunch of lads, and they really are a pleasure to work with. Like,
very committed. So yourself and Finbar, you kind of take full control of the coaching side of things. You work for the county board.
We do, yeah.
So Andy, you've been on board with this team from the start, from first year.
2010, yeah, we did Dalton Cup. We're actually the first winners from St Pat's ever to win the Dalton Cup in 2010. So that was a major feat in itself. Like, I remember that year, Pierce will kind of mention as well too. We had about 70 or 80 boys actually trialling out for that team. So you can see from the very start, like, lads are willing to get stuck in and we're all kind of raring to go. So that was the first ever time that St Pat's won in Dalton. So that was a really major achievement. And since like that first kind of year, the boys have never really looked back. And only been beaten once since. So, you know, it has been some achievement and the work has paid off.
Brilliant. And Finbar, you've come in, you know, in the last year, is that right? To join with Andy? Yeah,
I came in last October. Unfortunately, the lads, they were beaten in the Coronug final by, incidentally, Oma, who we beat.
Same team,
CBS, yeah. So, like, myself and Andy, we would have discussed it over that summer, and we kind of decided among ourselves we'd have a go at this together, basically. Yeah. And so there was a huge push on last winter. There was about maybe 5 months, maybe 60, 70 training sessions. This was for the Brock competition. You know, we knew the material was there, so we put as much work and left no stone unturned to try and get these lads over the line in the Brock competition. Luckily, we achieved that. We beat CBS in the final, and that, I suppose, put us in a good place going into the Ranafast, which started in September. So it more or less started last October and has been continuing up until last Friday. A long season, but
long, yeah, absolutely.
You have the rewards here tonight.
Absolutely. And Father Cavan, you're the chaplain in St Pat's, and you take a great interest in the students' physical education, and, you know, obviously the Ranafast Cup and the senior football, you were saying as well.
Yeah, Louise, I'm involved with the seniors, and I was involved with Andy and Finbar with the Ranafast, and also Mr. Jerry Gunn, who's not with us here this evening, but Jerry's part of the management team also. Yeah, I take great interest in it. I mean, these guys are, as the lads have said, are phenomenal footballers, but they're just, their application to training is unreal, and like they're role models for the rest of the footballers in the school at the moment. I mean, we've been training now since the middle of July, and like, that's phenomenal for a school team. Like, these guys have all come back in, and we've been
summer holidays.
Yeah, we've been very lucky. The Ranafast is probably the second most prestigious Ulster competition to win, but we've been very lucky with the lads we have coaching. Like, Finbar and Andy have done incredible work, like as Andy said, from the very beginning. And the county board were futuristic in sending these guys in. They also sent in Peter Donnelly and Sean Doherty. But I suppose these two men, the special thing they have is they're two Cavan men. Yeah. And one is a very proud past pupil. So
who's that now?
Finbar.
Put your hand up.
Yeah, Finbar, and I mean, they've just done phenomenal work. I mean, the way they're meticulously prepared is very, very well done. And like, we don't have huge resources to prepare, so these guys have given up a lot of their time and energy and everything. I mean, and also, I mean, for the whole thing, we need parents on board too, and clubs on board, and everyone is rolled in together to make it a complete success story, you know.
Absolutely. And as you're saying, you know, you've had to train throughout the summer. That's unbelievable sacrifice for, you know, under 16. This is the under 16s, so it's a huge sacrifice for them to keep up their summer, and also for the coaches as well, and yourself, Father Cavan, to come in and but. This is obviously a different team.
They're different. I mean, these boys are phenomenal Gaelic footballers. I mean, you're talking about the future of Cavan football. Like, these boys are the future of Cavan football. Because they're going to commit themselves in July and August as fellas who are going to school. They're certainly going to apply themselves down the road. And I mean, their application and training is well worth seeing. I mean, we've been privileged to work with them. Like, I only came in this year with them because I'm dealing mainly with senior teams in the school. But really privileged to work with them. Yeah. With the whole setup. Like, it's just phenomenal.
Brilliant. And Pierce Smith, you're the captain. Cootehill, that's your club. So you're only in TY. So you know, as a captain, you've got a lot of older boys to kind of captain and be a role model. How does that work for you? Do you find it kind of difficult role, or do you feel you're up for the challenge?
I was up for the challenge, but it was not made difficult because of the rest of the players on the panel as well. Like Andy Fimber said, it's because of leadership, like the amount of leaders there is on the team. I think that was really shown last Friday evening, down by 5 points with 7 minutes to go, and to come back and win by 6 points. Like, it shows that all our leaders stood up to the challenge when we really needed to.
You know, Father Ken, what attributes does Pierce have? Why did you choose Pierce to be the captain? Or?
Well, I think we chose him together. We discussed it, the four of us together, and we felt that he was the man to lead the team, because Pierce is just a natural leader on the field. He never gives up on any ball. The fellas have great respect for him. He's very disciplined in his football. I mean, he's an engine of a footballer. He's a modern day Gaelic footballer, and he's hugely respected by the other members of the panel. So I mean, when you have a guy like that, you can automatically make him captain.
So Pierce, how old are you?
16.
16. So I think the footballers today are a lot taller than maybe footballers in your time, Fimber, would you agree? I don't know about that, must be something in the water. But Pierce, tell us about all the different lads in the team from clubs around Cavan, and you were saying what other counties as well.
We have a representative from Carrigallen and Leitrim, and one from Fermanagh and Timor, Keeman. He was vice captain as well. Oh, yeah. I know there's many different clubs involved. How many is there? 12, 13?
Could be 12 or 13.
13, between them.
There could be 3 or 4 lads from some panels, like from some clubs on the panel as well, like so, and there's some dedication put into it and that. So even these two, they have club men as well. They've put some amount of dedication. I have to say that here today, because them trophies, as you say, the rewards we got from it, like the amount of effort they put in. Exactly. They can't just be praising us all the time. It's what the coaches do behind the scenes as well.
That's the key to. What do you think is the key to this particular team's success, Fimber? Knows what's kind of made this team stand out and be kind of, as you said, Father Cavan, a historic team. You know, they've won so much.
Well, obviously there's they're highly talented footballers for a start. Like, I mean, you won't win anything without that. I think no matter how highly talented you are, you need to have good coaches around you. But good coaches also need highly talented people. So when you put that kind of a mix together, allied with the tremendous application and commitment that these guys have, never will these guys refuse to train. It'll be, when can we train, basically. So when you put all of those components together, you put yourself in a great situation to win. And that was put to the test last Friday. So look, it's down to commitment, hard work, application and ability.
Absolutely. Do you think it stems from, there's a lot of the coaching in place and this GA initiative? Do you think it stems from that? Is this really showing a result of?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think the standard of football is improving no end in Cavan. I mean, the lads are going around national schools too. I mean, I think it's improved phenomenally over the last 6 or 7 years, and it's down to the fellas and girls who've been coaching in that, Louise. I mean, but we benefited specifically because, I mean, the fellas are mad to play football in St. Pat's again. Yeah. We have fellas, like even today our Cornlogue panel have gone through to the quarter final. Our seniors are probably through to the last 16 and probably through to the quarter final. So there's no team. We've only lost one game in all competitions so far this year.
Okay, right. So We'll show the cups here actually, just to show the results of your success. We'll hold this one up first. Tell us about that one, Andy.
This one here's the Broad Cup. This was won last May.
So that's the under 15s and a half.
That was under 15 and a half. And that was also the first time the Pats ever won the Broad Cup.
Right, so very historic.
So yeah, and historic, same as the Dalton.
Yeah.
So that's the Broad Cup.
The
Broad Cup now is probably one of the more modern Ulster College competitions. It was only initiated in 1994.
All right, okay.
So it's again, as Andy says, we're the first time winners of that also.
That's brilliant. And then there are cups
this is the brand new Ranafast Cup. It's the Ranafast competition is 75 years old, and this was presented by the Christian Brothers this year, and we are delighted to be the first time winners of it.
Move it over here a little bit. Sorry, we get it just in the camera. See this? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a beautiful cup. A little bit
Mini
over.
Sam Maguire.
It's like a replica, isn't it?
Yeah,
Of like a mini
smaller
Sam Maguire.
Sam,
And so this will go into trophy cabinets in the school under lock and key.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, brings us then to the McRory Cup. That's what you have your sights set on now. 40 years, Father Cavan, since St Pat's won the McRory Cup.
Yeah, I was the only man born in this present scene that was around when they won the Hogan Cup in 70. They won the Rory in 72, and they also won the Hogan Cup, Louise.
Yeah. So it's this is the under 18 and a half campaign.
Yes.
Okay, so will you have this team available? Are they going to be available for next year?
Yeah.
You'll have majority of the team.
Or they're all there. They're all there next year.
So when does it start, the McRory Cup?
It starts in October.
Okay, so next October. Okay, so that's brilliant. You've got this team and you've got a year to work with them and build on that. There has been problems over the years, and they say it's because of the age group you're up against with the northern teams, Finbar.
Yeah, I mean the northern teams are at an advantage.
An extra year.
Yeah, they spend longer. They go into their secondary schools younger, but they have that extra year. They're there till they're 18, maybe 18 and a half, whereas the vast majority of our guys are leaving at 17.
Yeah.
So that's some of our guys have done TY. So look, we will have them all next year. We're not going to look too far ahead. We will prepare for the 2013 McRory Cup the very, very same way as we prepared for this Ranafast competition. We will leave no stone unturned, and we'll see where that takes us. And if 2014 presents another opportunity, well then we'll take that head on also.
Oh, fingers crossed that it does. So tell us, and Father Cavan, about the you've got the new facilities in the college, the Prunty pitch, the hall, the gym.
We're hoping to open our Prunty pitch. We will be opening our Prunty pitch next September, and then we have a gym at the pitch also, and dressing rooms and everything. So we've been using Breffney Park all year. We've had to get bus up to Breffney Park all year, so it'll be fantastic next year for the lads to come in and just train straight away. So it'll probably save us a half an hour.
Wow, yeah.
And no stone will be left unturned, as Finbar said, to try and win the McRory Cup.
Well, that's a good way to end it. And tell us, there's a scholarship you're offering for the first years.
Yeah, next year we decided that we would offer a scholarship of €200 to 5 students who applied themselves very well in training and commit themselves over the year, and there'll be €200 for 5 students at the end of the year. I think it's a good scholarship to be involved with. So football is going so well that they're the sponsor going to come in to sponsor that.
Yeah,
so I think it's fantastic, and I think it's a great opportunity for young people to get that.
Yeah, it's a great incentive for them.
Scholarship, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that €200, again, it can go towards
towards anything they wish.
Uniform or anything they wish.
There'll probably be football stuff, Louise.
Pardon?
It'll probably be football stuff.
Oh, of course, not iPods or any of that kind of stuff. But and then Finbar, are you hoping to stay on then next year? Has that been decided yet? Should I ask?
Maybe we should get out when we're on a high.
When the going's good.
Listen, sure. Most likely we'll be back in charge next year again. Hopefully.
Yeah.
If we're allowed.
And I suppose, Andy, you'll be involved but what's your hopes for 2014? This team, the goal is to win the McRory Cup, and obviously you'll have the other teams upcoming for. Again, we'll be taking part in the Ranafast Cup with the other teams coming up. So,
of course.
So it'll be a busy year ahead.
Well, I just want to make the point. These competitions are incredibly difficult to win. The amount of work we put into this, and we still, it's such a fine line between winning and McRory Cup is going to be incredibly hard to win. And I wouldn't like a huge amount of pressure heaped onto these guys just because they've won some of these, titles previously. The guys will apply themselves. We will do whatever we can. Fingers crossed it happens. Yeah. But we would like to maybe, play it down a wee bit and not heap so much pressure.
You have another, say, 12, 13 more schools up the north that are doing exact same work, if not maybe more as well. Yeah. So they're just so hard to win.
And it's just we'd probably be up to semi their facilities next year, Louise, of what the other schools have in the north. They might have 2 or 3 pitches, gyms, etc. And they're specifically nearly Gaelic football colleges. I mean, we're very lucky. There's been a great work on relationship between the teachers and the coaches, that we all work together and we all have our roles in the management setup, and that's been fantastic, because that has developed football in Pats big time. Yeah. There are teachers involved with every team, 2 teachers involved with every team, and then the lads are coaching. So I mean, it's just phenomenal, the whole thing together.
Well, look, you've had great success this year, and I wish you all the success in 2014, and good luck, and thank you very much, Finbar, Andy, Father Cavan and Pierce, for joining us on All About Sport.
Thanks very much, Louise.
So we're going to go to a short ad break, but stay with us and we'll be back with our Cootehill Celtic hurling champions.
Hi, I'm Marty Morrissey and you're watching Cavan TV.
I'm Willie John McBride and you're watching Cavan TV.
I'm Martin McHugh and you're watching Cavan TV.
I'm Tommy Bowe and you're watching Cavan TV.
I'm Jim McGuinness and you're watching All About Sport.
I'm Carl Lacey and you're watching All About Sport.
I'm Colin McFadden and you're watching All About Sport.
I'm Paddy McBurty and you're watching All About Sport.
Welcome back. I am joined by Owen Morrissey and Gabriel, who are going to talk to us about Cootehill Celtic minor hurling champions. Thank you very much for coming in and speaking to us. So Owen, your involvement, obviously, you're the hurling development squad with Cavan. So tell us about the Cootehill Celtic champions.
First of all, Louise, thanks for having us in. I suppose
very welcome.
My job, I suppose, in Cavan is to develop the whole of the county for hurling. Underage, right from underage up to basically minors, and a part of that, Cootehill Celtic is one of the clubs in the in that area, and I suppose my job really is to develop kids from underage all the way up to a minor level to achieve what Cootehill achieved there last week. Yeah. So maybe Gabriel might speak a little bit about the Cootehill.
So Gabriel, what's your role? You're involved with Cootehill. You're there.
I do. I look after one of the underage teams, the manager of the under 14 teams, and I'm the chairman of the subcommittee of the hurling division of Cootehill Celtic.
Oh, right, so you're a very busy man.
I got a few things to do.
But congratulations on the win last week. It's been a great year for Cootehill Celtic. You've won the under 14s, the under 16 titles, and now the minor hurling title. What's the key to this club's success?
Well, first of all, I suppose the key to the club's success is the effort that the young fellas make in participating in training. The mentors of each group are a driven bunch, very focused, and we've got good trainers at each level, and currently have a super crop of players coming through from under 13s to under 18s. So we had a good year. The under 14s were fortunate; they won the championship in the league, and they were beaten finalists in the All Ireland Fela. And the under 16s won their first under 16 championship this year, and again the under 18s completed the hat trick by winning their under 18s also. Yeah. So
brilliant!
It's been a great year for us.
It's you can see the Cootehill, I suppose, is a great club, and it's really shown with all that success. Would you say, the best team won on the day?
It's a hard question to ask me here now, I suppose, Louise.
There wasn't much in the final.
No, it was a great final actually. I was at the game myself, and Motherhorn came back on a numerous occasions to challenge Cootehill throughout the game. And I suppose Cootehill had a few extra training sessions they had, and me and Gabriel were talking beforehand, and they were used to the 3G pitch was vital in their success, because they went down there training a couple of times before the match and things like that.
What pitch did you call it?
The 3G in
So
Breffney
split-
Park.
Okay, right.
So I suppose it's just the AstroTurf down there, and
right.
I suppose it's different. It's a little bit different environment when you're playing hurling on a pitch like that because it speeds up the game.
Yeah.
And it could have a bit of advantage because they used that pitch a couple of times just to prepare for the match. And it was great. The most encouraging thing for me with developing hurling in the county was it was a really good standard of hurling, and a number of them players that were representing Monaghan and Cootehill on the day played for the Cavan minor team this year. That represented.
So some of this team, and I've had them in before,
right,
but
yeah.
so some of these team have play with Cootehill. So
yeah,
got
so
a great
like
calibre
with the
of
Cavan
players.
minor team, we have 4 or 5 clubs feeding into it, and Cootehill and Monaghan have a number of players in that. They reached the All-Ireland final this year as well.
Yeah.
So we're having great success so far in the county teams.
Yes,
trying to build it back up
Must
again.
be delighted that all the hard work is paying off.
Look, it's not possible to let the people, on the ground, working hard. And number one, the children want to play hurling, and the people facilitating that on the ground, and myself really just doing the bare minimum as much as I can, really, to help that to move that on.
Yeah. What teams are in the championships? Who did you play, Gabriel?
There was a number of teams that we played. Woodford Gales were in the championship. Ballymacue, Mullahoran. As you go down the age groups, more teams are becoming more active in each. The younger the age group, the more the teams. Probably with the work that Owen is doing, and Paul Divley as well. That they're getting under 8s, and there's many teams of that, and under 10s. Same story. An awful lot of teams coming into it as well, and. The under 18s, there wouldn't be as many teams because it was working on its own for a number of years before there was any major structures in place to help promote the hurling as much as it is today. So
exactly,
there'll be more younger ages as more teams.
So now the likes of Owen is involved, and you're building it from the young age
absolutely.
groups up. Like you're around all the schools.
That's right. Myself, was Gary said, Paul Divley, who works for us at GA, did a great job as well in primary schools, post-primary schools. Then you have Francis Clark and Vincent Dolan, who were here before actually, and we're setting up 2 new teams in Cavan, and they're going lovely at the moment. You have Cavan Town and Castlerahan, and Virginia possibly coming up with a team very shortly, and that's what our work is really, is developing new teams and providing more children the opportunity to play hurling,
It's great. Where are you from yourself?
I'm from Waterford, so 12 months. It's a long way. It's a long way. I suppose it's renowned as a hurling county, and it is, I suppose, and we've done great things in hurling over the last couple of years, and it'll be a while before we win the Ireland probably, but maybe Cavan might win one before Waterford.
And definitely, if I could say, just with Owen being there in his full-time capacity, he can give a focus to the tournaments and promoting all the time, and he drives the tournaments through, and he encourages at all levels. So I can see from a native hurling supporter, the growth has been extraordinary over the last over the last two or 3 years.
Yeah.
Like I went to Fela back in 1982, and we never scored a point in that competition. And the Cootehill team went this year, and we were beaten by a point in the All Ireland, and that is a fact. And that is went to the efforts of people like Owen and these guys, giving us the coaching and the mentoring, the facilities we can use, extra games we're getting playing.
Yeah. That's the thing, is having enough teams to play to keep it exciting, and that they don't get bored saying, it's this team again, and they always beat us. That there is a bit of a challenge there for these other teams.
That's our challenge. Next year we're trying to tackle that challenge. We've through the Hurling Mentor Scheme, we have a pilot initiative now next year for a sponsor competition under 14, and Dahi Regan of Handcraft Hurleys is sponsoring us.
So who's that? What's his name?
Dahi Regan. He used to be on Dragons Den. He's sponsoring us in the in the Handcraft Hurleys League next year for under 14. He's going to provide more games for kids that age group.
So his role is to provide games, or he.
Well, through him, we're developing the league between Fermanagh, Cavan, and Monaghan.
Okay.
So
you have competition.
We'll have more competition next year for kids.
But you have to kind of spread it, because there's not enough kind of teams at the moment. But as you were saying, there's more. As you're saying, Gabriel, under 8s, it's more up and coming. So in the next, say, 5-6 years, there'll be more teams playing. There'll be more competition. Maybe more pushing clubs to have a hurling team.
Well, I've seen this year, like in the under 12 competition, East Cavan is making great strides in the Bailieborough area. I like they've come out on top there this year. They won the final, and they're a new club, and they've started from scratch, and they have a good structure in place, and you'll see success coming up in that region as well because of the enthusiasm they have and the numbers they have. Big numbers playing it up there. So.
Tell me about the obviously you've got the equipment. I mean, there's a lot of equipment that comes with playing hurling. You know, it's compulsory now to wear helmets. You know, when you go out to the schools, Owen, you know, who supplies the helmets, the command or the hurls and the schlitters? Who you know?
Well, luckily, once again, the Cavan County Board are very supportive of the project and what we're doing here, and they're providing us equipment to go out to the schools. Myself, Francis, Vincent, Paul, and other coaches, and a lot of those clubs in as well may have got support over the years, but also now they have to, you know, do their own fundraising and things like that, because you said helmets and hurleys can be quite expensive. They are, like, you know, but luckily, like, you know, you get support from the likes of Cavan County Board and people like that to coach hurling within the schools. And
so they send equipment with you.
Well, yeah, we'd have equipment with us most of the schools, like, you know, so that really does help the whole situation.
What about this ash disease that's attacking all the trees? Is that going to affect, you know, the hurl making of hurls?
Yeah, well, I don't know the full details of it yet, but it could affect. There's a lot of hurling makers in Ireland now, and a lot of new, you know, it's a new business, thriving business, because of, you know, a lot of intercounty hurlers are making hurleys now and everything, and it could damage the thing going along for. But there's new plastic hurleys out and things like that to tackle it, but we just
want to keep it authentic as such. You know, going down the route of plastic hurley, would it have the same as a hurler yourself? Like, would it be much difference playing with plastic hurl?
Well, different players have different tastes, I suppose, and I tried them with myself a couple of times, but I much rather feel of the ash hurley, and I hopefully it won't spread too much. And
you need two young lads this year use them in big competitions.
Yeah,
definitely a personal choice.
Yeah, will it be something that'll have to be standardised? You know, even up to senior level, where, you know, even like you look at, like, you know, all the county players. Are they allowed? Is it preference? Can they go out with a plastic hurl, or is that?
No, they're approved by the GAA.
It is approved. Yeah, so it is approved by the GAA. So you know, tell us a little bit the backroom team, Gabriel. Who's involved with the club that you would like to mention?
I suppose it's not a point of mentioning, but just take the minors, for example. They were the manager was Seamus Hughes, and the physio and trainer was a gentleman called John Joe Rogers, and we drafted John Joe in this year to help us because vast experience in fitness training. He's a 200k cyclist. He runs marathons.
What's his name?
He's John Joe Rogers from Knockbride, Baileyburg.
Possibly I've had some of these triathlons.
He does the Cavan kayak as well, so you would have met him in that.
Possibly have.
We had good men with Michael Wall and Mark O'Rourke helping with the under-14s, along with my sister Pauline Shalvey, she was responsible for the kits and the equipment for that. That was a big effort as well, because there was a lot of fundraising for that event, and there was all new kits to buy for the guys, and you know we had to raise €6,000 or €7,000 for that failure to get them all geared up. And
so tell us about failure. You've mentioned it a few times, I suppose, for our viewers who are maybe unaware. What is failure?
The failure competition is an under-14 championship that's played in Cavan, and the winners of that progress on to a All-Ireland competition. This year was held in Dublin. It nationally moves around the country, and it's in operations for about 35 years now. And it brings winning clubs from each county. It also involves camogie. There's a camogie side, and there's also a handball side, I believe. So it's a celebration of youth participation in GAA sports, and it's very, very well run, and it was a very enjoyable experience for all of us involved in it. And we also have then in Cootehill, we have under 12s people again Fitzpatrick there, and further on down, Kevin Carney is at the start of the conveyor belt. Kevin is responsible for bringing in the under 8s and cubs into the club and giving them some of their basics. So it has to start at the very beginning, and the skills have to be developed from the very start. So a
lot of help there. You know, a lot of people.
You need good people with a genuine passion from start up all the way through. So
that's brilliant, and obviously that's the key to your success. Gabriel, thank you very much for coming in, and Owen, it's always great to feature hurling in Cavan on the show, and we just hope it goes from strength to strength. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
So that's it from All About Sport for this week. I will be back again next Wednesday evening at the same time to bring you more sport on CavanTV.ie. drumlinmedia@gmail.com. And if you want your sport featured on the show, simply contact drumlinmedia@gmail.com. And if you like the show, just leave us a message on our Facebook page. So stay with CavanTV.com, as up next is our weekly music show, The Green Room, with the gorgeous Paul Cox. So until next Wednesday evening at 7, it's goodbye from me, Louise O'Reilly.